Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about 7 styles that we can sew for Mother's Day. Some of these styles are very easy while others may be a little bit more advanced, but we do have quite a few options this year. I am loving all of the different dress patterns that I am seeing, particularly the dress patterns because I love sewing dresses, but I do want to also share with you some crop top styles and some popover styles, just all kinds of beautiful dresses and tops that we can sew this year for Mother's Day. So I want to go ahead and start off with the first category, which is gathered dresses and tops. And I want to start with the Simplicity S3001. This is a very easy to sew pattern. And for the inspiration for this pattern, I saw this beautiful Zimmerman dress. It's called the August Ruffle Dress in satin. It comes in a chocolate color as well as a green, some type of green color. But right now I'm just going to feature the chocolate color. So I do think this dress is very simple, easy to sew. It's absolutely gorgeous. When the pattern was first released from Simplicity, I was not a fan of the pattern, but seeing it on this beautiful model, seeing it on various skin tones, and also the way in which you can style it, I do think that this is a cute pattern, and I think it's very easy to sew. We only have a few days to complete projects before Mother's Day. If you're looking to go for a dress that has a little bit of drama, you'll notice around the neckline, you do have some gathers around the neckline. You have an elasticated sleeve, and in the back of the garment, you also have this beautiful ruffle detail as well. So I think this is a really nice pattern in terms of simplicity, as well as giving you a little bit of drama if that's something that you're looking for. Here we have it featured in green, and as I mentioned before, absolutely love the neckline. As you can see with this dress, you do have a slit down the middle, and it is very much more revealing than the Simplicity pattern. If you don't want to go with that style, obviously you don't have to, because the Simplicity pattern is a little bit more modest. But if you want to have a deeper V neckline, it would not be hard to actually create a deeper V neckline. Here's a second option here. This is the Zimmerman Cascadian floral tunic top. You can make this as a tunic, but also a dress. This version here, I think, is absolutely darling. You do have that beautiful V neckline and the elasticated lower sleeve. You have a shirt tail hem on this one. It would not be hard to create a shirt tail hem. So I think if you want to go with the top like this that has a shirt tail hem, this would also be a nice, beautiful option as well. I think these types of patterns are very easy to sew, and you can probably get through this within 1 to 2 days. The Simplicity S9678 would also be a really nice option to go with if you want to make a gathered dress. Now, this particular dress, I really don't like the midsection of this dress pattern, but here are some of my thoughts on how I personally would modify it to get a dress that I would actually like. So I can see like the foundation of the pattern, like I would use the base of the pattern to kind of get what I want and kind of build on or omit certain features so that I can get, again, the dress pattern that I want. So personally, I would definitely omit this double stitch casing that's going around the waistline, and I would either just gather in elastic, like make a channel on the inside of the garment and make a channel so that I can actually have my elastic go through the channel on the inside of the garment to get something similar to what we are seeing here with this image here. Now, if I want to do like one row of stitching on the outside of the garment, I would absolutely consider doing that. But having this double stitch casing go around the waistline is just something that I just don't really like. As you can see here, the neckline is very similar, but the back is a little bit different. So I would definitely sew the pattern as it is presented for the Simplicity S9678. I would not create the back like this, but I just wanted to give you an idea of how you can create something similar to that Simplicity pattern, where you have the neckline that has like these nice little gathers around the neckline. Now, this particular dress from Sugar Lips is a satin sleeve. The sleeve pattern for the Simplicity S9678 is a raglan sleeve. So you do have a little bit of a difference there, but I just wanted to give you an idea of how you can put a garment together that has like a similar neckline. And if you want to omit the casing around the waistline, you could definitely do that. Another thing that I personally would omit, I would not include that second yoke tier. Like, so you have the yoke and then you also have like a tier that's below the yoke. I would probably omit the the yoke and just have just a dress that's very similar to this, or I would lengthen that yoke and make it very similar to what we see here. Here's another style that's very similar to the Simplicity S9678. I love this. Now we're looking at specifically the neckline and also the sleeve detail. Now the waistline as well as the skirt is not going to be as similar to the Simplicity pattern, but definitely the raglan sleeves with the nice gathered neckline is very, very similar. Now the back is a little bit different as well, but if you want to create a V neckline, I think it would most likely be easy to do that. Now this is, I think, a very, very gorgeous, gorgeous pattern. Here's another variation of kind of like that Simplicity 3001 that I showed earlier that has like that beautiful gathering around the neckline. I think that's another option that you can choose as well. So these are just some styles that I thought would be very easy for you to choose for Mother's Day if you're looking for a simple dress to sew. The Simplicity S3001 as well as the Simplicity S9678 offers a romantic style dress that has gathers around the neckline or around the yoke part of the shoulders, and also a romantic sleeve. And I think those two patterns would be really fun to sew. Here we have the Simplicity S9702 and an inspiration for that. This one here, I think the fabric is almost identical to the Simplicity S9702, or the fabric that the model is wearing for the Simplicity S9702. This is one of my favorite patterns. I've sewn this one a couple times. I absolutely love the silhouette. Now you do have quite a few tier options, and also there's a lot of gathering with this one. So if you are looking to make this for Mother's Day, I would definitely say if you're going to start today, today would be the day to start. So you have a couple days to actually focus on this, because this is a pattern that is going to take a little bit more time than just, you know, your regular shift dress pattern that has maybe a front and a back pattern piece, and that's it. So you do have quite a few options that you can choose for tiers. You can choose like a just one tier option or two multiple tiers, but just keep that in mind that if you are looking to create something like this, it will take a little bit of time for you to create it. Now with this particular dress here, the model is shown with the lower tier having a split in it. I think this is absolutely stunning. It would not take a lot to create something like this. All you have to do is cut out two sections for your lower tier on fold, and make sure that you leave a slit opening for the front there. So I think that's an absolute stunning detail there that just adds a little bit more to the style here. So absolutely love this, and I think you can definitely create something like that for Mother's Day. I think it's very fun and very cute. Next, let's talk about tunic tops and dresses. And I want to start with the Simplicity S9113. I think this is a beautiful, beautiful pattern that you can actually sew if you want to sew a tunic style for Mother's Day. You want something that's more on the lounge wear type vibe. I think this would be absolutely stunning. Here is an inspiration of how you can actually create something like that. I think that the Simplicity S9113 is going to be a really great pattern for individuals who don't want anything like too classy or want to put like a lot of time into working on a pattern. I think this one's very simple and easy to sew. You have like your front pattern piece, your back pattern piece. You might have a few facings and your sleeve pattern. And so it's going to be relatively simple. I think the buttonholes and the button details is probably going to be the most challenging part. But other than that, I think it's going to be very simple and easy for you to sew. And you might be able to get through these projects within the next several days. I think the Butterick B 6929 is a good option, as well as the Simplicity S9274 and the Simplicity S9333, as well as the Simplicity S3068. So I think all of those are great options for you to sew if you are looking for tunic style tops. So I think all of those are great options to sew if you are looking for tunic style tops and dresses. Next, let's talk about some crop style tops. And this can include semi-crop tops as well. So me, myself, I don't like showing my midriff, but I love a good semi-crop top that does not show my midriff. And so this is an example of a crop top that you can sew if you're looking for just something like just to sew a really nice blouse pattern. I think this pattern here would be a really great pattern to go with. It is the New Look in 6707. It has many different options of colors. As you can see with the New Look in 6707, you do have like a ruffle that you're putting around the collar. You can definitely omit that. I've sewn this pattern and it is very easy to sew. I love the statement collar piece and the poof sleeve, and it's very similar to this blouse pattern by The Frame. It is a polka dot sailor blouse that retails for $398. And I just absolutely love the detail on this. I should have chosen a fabric that's very similar to this myself. I think it's absolutely stunning and cute. And it's definitely a top that I think would be really cute for Mother's Day. Personally, I would pair this with a pencil skirt or some type of flared skirt. I think would be very cute with this style. Here is the JBQ Emery cropped blouse. And this definitely reminds me of the Berta Style 5745. Now, when the Berta Style collections usually come out, I don't really get excited. But when I'm looking at different types of fashion inspirations, I can definitely see the vision for some of those styles. And I think this Berta Style crop top pattern is one that I have overlooked. I think you can definitely create something like this and still be stylish. I think it's a little bit oversized. The JBQ version is a little bit oversized. And so I don't really go for oversized styles, but I definitely can see making it a little bit more closer to the body, as you see with the Berta Style 5745. I think this would definitely be an absolutely gorgeous pattern to recreate. We do have a little bit more features with the JBQ style. As you can see in the back, we have a little bow detail, a little tie detail back there. But I do love the elasticated waistline and the concealed button closure with the collar detail. I think it's absolutely stylish, and a lot of the times we don't see anything that's too like groundbreaking or novel, but when things like this come out, I do feel like they are a little bit more innovative and a little bit more stylish, and so absolutely love this. So here is the Arcus Punto short sleeve high-low button down top. and it retails for $595. And for this particular style, I was definitely thinking about the New Look in 6697. Now you'll notice that with that New Look pattern, you don't have like this high-low hem, but you can definitely create a high-low hem. It's not that hard to lengthen the back pattern so that you can get this style. If you don't want to make any alterations or adjustments and you want a pattern that actually mimics this style, I would definitely say the Closet Core Cali shirt, and you can use the short version to create this. Now, the Cali shirt has different options in it. You can make like a long tunic, or it's kind of like a dress. And then you can make a short version as well that has this high-low hem. And so you can definitely use that, or you can even use the Mimi G. I think it's a simplicity pattern. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but I can definitely insert that here so you can see what that looks like. So all three of those patterns have a very similar silhouette, and you can definitely create something similar to this if you are looking to have a crop top that's very similar to this. It's like a semi-crop. It's not too cropped, but you can definitely create something like that with those patterns. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few more crop styles, and then we'll move on to the next category. So for this top here, I think the New Look 6707 is another great option for this style here. Now, the neckline is a little bit different and you have a different collar, but you could definitely do something similar to this. And in terms of other types of crop tops, we do have the McCall's M8198 that is very similar to the crop top that I showed you in the beginning when we were featuring the Berta style, I believe. So that's very similar to that. We also have the B6880 as well. So we do have quite a few crop tops that I think would fit this kind of description. And if you are looking for something that's like a semi-crop, I think these types of tops are absolutely gorgeous, and you could definitely sew these, I think, within maybe 2 days. Again, I sewed that New Look 6707, and it took me maybe 2 days to sew after prepping, washing my fabric, prepping the pattern pieces with interfacing, and then after stitching the garment together, doing the hem and the buttons and all that. I think it took no more than 2 days, and I was taking my time on it. So I think you can definitely sew something like this within a couple days if you're looking to sew something like this for Mother's Day. Next, let's talk about popover tops and dress styles. And I want to circle back around to this Donna Karan button detailed popover top. When I featured this in the Sew to Trend series, I think it was the last video, or it was the first video. We did get a comment, and someone shared with us that the Butterick B6768 would be a really great top for this, and I agree. I think the Butterick B6768 would be phenomenal for this top. I don't know how I missed it, but I think this is absolutely stunning, and I gave a lot of commentary on this, so I won't go into detail with it. But if you haven't had a chance to watch the first part of the Sew to Trend spring and summer video, go ahead and check that video out. I will be posting pretty soon the third part of that. I think I will do that this Friday, and so watch out for that video as well. So absolutely love the Butterick B6768 for this particular style, and I think we can definitely recreate something similar using that pattern. Here we have another popover top. This is the Simon's cap sleeve V-neck flowy blouse. And I was thinking about a few patterns for this. We can do the McCall's M7840 or the Simplicity S9130. And I think those are absolutely stunning for this style of top. We can also use the Simplicity S9274 or the Simplicity S9333. So all of those are very similar to this style, and we can definitely choose something like this if we want something that's very simple and easy to sew that we want to get through in a day. I think this type of style will definitely be one that you can create very easily and not with not too many, problems or hiccups. I definitely think you can get through a project like this. I think also the Butterick B6855 would be another great option. This one has various sleeve options, and you also have a yoke in the back that's very similar to this Simon's top as well. And so I think all of those patterns would complement this type of style. It just depends on what kind of style you want to go with. But any of those patterns, I think, would be absolutely great for this type of style. We are now on the Valentina Rio site, and I want to take a look at a specific dress. And this dress is the striped cotton dress with a flounce at the bottom. And as you can see, very, very similar to the Berta Style 5826. So we can definitely create something similar to this with using that pattern there. So you can see that we do have, it's a popover top. And so you do have a half button placket. And then they just have a flounce at the lower edge of the dress, as well as a pocket detail. And you can definitely include all those details with the Berta style pattern as well. It would be very easy to create a flounce and to put that flounce at the lower edge of a skirt. If you want to do that, you would just have to shorten your skirt and add a flounce detail at the lower edge of it. And so I like these types of styles because if you're looking for a shirt dress that have a few buttons on them, you don't want to get too crazy with doing a lot of buttons. These popover styles are very simple and easy to create something like that. Here's another popover style. If you're looking to use any type of satin or silky type fabric, this should give you an idea of how you can use those patterns that I have suggested to give you kind of more of a dressier type of look. If you're looking to do something that's a little bit more dressier, just choose a more fancier fabric like a charmeuse or any type of silk fabric or chiffon fabric. I think these types of fabrics will definitely make the dress look a little bit more fancier, but you're not doing as much work. So definitely consider your fabric choice and try to go with something that is a little bit more fancier. If you are looking to make a really nice Mother's Day dress, but you want something a little bit more simplistic, I think these popover styles are very easy to sew. And if you just choose the right fabric, you can definitely make yourself a really nice Mother's Day outfit. So let's talk about your really easy shift dress options. So these are shift dress styles that are very similar to the popover styles that I have been sharing with you. So the Simplicity S9262 fits in both categories. So I would definitely include this into your popover as well as your shift dress styles. This is very similar to this style that you're seeing here. This is the Splendid Vienna V-neck short sleeve dress. I think this one may be in a knit fabric, and we do have some knit options, and I'll share with you what those options are. But definitely the Simplicity S9262 kind of fit in both of those categories as a shift dress as well as a popover style. And so you could definitely use that pattern to do that as well. I also like the Simplicity S8981, which is a really great pattern there. It has a raglan sleeve. You have the Berta Young. If you're looking for knit dress options, that's very similar to this style. The Berta Young 6540 and the Berta Style 6608. Both of those patterns are going to be very similar to what we are seeing here. And we are definitely going to be able to get a very, very easy project with those two Berta patterns if we want to sew something like that. I also think the Simplicity S9690 View B, if we lengthen that, we can definitely use that. This is more of like a romantic style sleeve. And so if you want something that has a little bit more of a romantic sleeve, like a shift dress that has a romantic sleeve, I think that one would be a really great choice as well. Let's also talk about the Simplicity S9263, which is a really nice dress that's very similar to the style that we're seeing here. And I don't know if this one here is a knit. It's saying that it's a cotton blend, so I think it's probably going to be some type of like non-stretch woven fabric. I can't tell if it's a non-stretch woven fabric or not, but the pattern that I am showing here is very, very similar to this style here. Definitely can sew something like this. The Simplicity S9263 has a zipper that you're putting in the back of the garment. And so you do have that feature. But other than that, I think it will be one of the most simplest and easiest patterns that you can actually sew. So definitely, I think, give that one a try. We also have a Calvin Klein silk satin sheath dress that's very similar to this, and I'll put an image here so you can see what that looks like. I think those two are really great inspirational photos for this Simplicity pattern, and you can kind of get an idea of how this Simplicity pattern can actually be elevated in so many different ways with just simple fabric choices. So I think that Simplicity pattern will be a really great choice as well. So let's talk about the Simplicity S9781. I think this is one of the easiest options on the list. It has a dolman style sleeve and a gathered elasticated waistline. I do think, however, that when we are looking at the pattern's cover, a lot of the times the print that they choose for the models and the styling that they choose for the models kind of obstructs our view of the line art and also the style and the potential that the pattern could have. And so that's why I really like showing and showcasing different styles that are similar, that's coming out of high fashion, because we can get an idea of what these patterns look like. And if we choose different types of prints and things of that nature, we can definitely get an idea of how we can recreate something that's a little bit more suitable to our taste. I love this. This is the floral print V-neck pleated ball mini dress by Adam Lips, and it retails for $990. Now, we do have a few features that are similar, but also features that are not quite the same as the Simplicity S9781. For starters, we have a dolman sleeve for the Simplicity pattern. And for this high fashion design here from Adam Lips, we are seeing a satin sleeve. We also have pleats that's around the waistline for this style instead of gathers around the waistline with an elasticated waistline there. So a little bit different, but you can definitely see the potential here because it's very, very similar in style. If you want a sleeve that's a little bit more closer to the body, I would definitely say just size the sleeve down and you'll get a more slimmer fitting sleeve instead of like this really wide bishop type dolman style looking sleeve. I definitely think you can slim the pattern down just a little bit so you can have your sleeve closer to the body. And I think I might recreate something similar to this myself. So those are my thoughts for the very easy patterns. Now let's look at a few romantic styles. Now these styles are not going to be the easiest, but I do have a few options that I feel like you can sew if you are looking for something that is a little bit more romantic. So I want to go ahead and circle back to this Zimmerman Cascadian floral tunic top because I think this is a romantic style, especially if you choose a romantic type fabric, a floral fabric, some type of silk, satin, chiffon, charmeuse. Any of those types of fabrics are going to give this romantic vibe to it. And I love the fact that we do have those gathers at the shoulder line there. That's also going to give you a romantic style as well. So let's go ahead and circle back around to the first style and pattern that I shared with you, which is the Simplicity S3001. And I showcased that in the chocolate I think the chocolate color Zimmerman August ruffle dress, as well as they also have a green color as well. And so those two dress patterns are going to be, I think, very romantic, but that's going to be along the lines of your easier patterns if you're looking for a romantic style. Now, if you're not worried too much about the difficulty level of a pattern, I would definitely say the Vogue V2103. This is a dress pattern that is very much trending this year. So I showcased two different styles in a previous video. It was the Soda Trends video, and I believe it's the Soda Trends video, the first part that I showcase the halter dress from Donna Karan with ruffles around the skirt, as well as the Eldred dress by Ralph Lauren. So those two styles are very similar to the Vogue V2103. And I definitely think if you're looking for a backless shirt dress, this would definitely be right on trend for you. And this would be something that it wouldn't be easy to sew, I don't think, because you do have quite a few details, but it wouldn't be too bad. And I think you could get it done within the 3 or 4 days that we have before Mother's Day. I also think the Simplicity S3000 would be a really great pattern. And here is a Valentino dress inspiration for that pattern. This isn't going to be like your easiest option, as I mentioned before, but it is definitely a romantic style. I think this is going to be a little bit more classy. If you're looking for something like an evening wear, I think this would definitely be a really great pattern for you for Mother's Day if you're looking for something like this. Here you can see it's featured in another color other than black, so you can get an idea of the different details that you can see here on the beautiful, beautiful model. Absolutely love these different colors here. And I think you definitely can recreate the S3000 and get a similar look to this here. Now, if you really want something romantic, I would definitely say make yourself a beautiful dress that's similar to this exclusive Parker embroidered puff sleeve midi dress. This is absolutely stunning. If you have a chiffon fabric or some type of fabric that's very similar to this, I think the new look in 6786 would be very, very similar to this in construction. I think this is absolutely stunning. You do have various different options that you can choose in that new look pattern. One of the options is to have a high round neckline, but you don't have to choose that variation. If you want a V neckline, there is a pattern in that envelope that you can definitely choose to get something very similar to this style here. So those are all of my recommendations for Mother's Day. I hope that there is something on this list that you can select, that you can choose, so that you can get a beautiful Mother's Day make. So if you have had fun, or if you enjoyed the video, if you found this video educational, informative, or any of that, please make sure you give me a big thumbs up. And if there is a pattern that you would love to share with us that is your go-to Mother's Day pattern, let us know what that pattern's name or number is in the comment section below. I hope you all have had fun today. I enjoy talking to you and sharing with you all my thoughts when it comes to pattern selections and inspiration. I hope you all have a beautiful Mother's Day. And with that, I will be signing off, and I hope you all stay creative, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.